Hey yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Matthew Maley for MatthewMaley.com. Well, I'm coming at you with another poker recap video. Wanted to go over a couple big hands and kind of discuss a couple plays. So I was actually going to play the daily tournament at Planet Hollywood, the $65 daily. But they actually changed it. In the process of changing the buy-in and the guarantee, they also changed the time of the last event. It previously had been a $65 buy-in with a 2K guarantee, 1K guaranteed to first place. But they actually have changed it to now being a $70 buy-in with a 2.5K guaranteed with 1.5K going to first place. So way better for $5 more. But sadly, they changed the last event of the day from 9 p.m. to 7 p.m. So I got up there about 9 p.m., went to go sign in, and what do you know? It started at 7. So went over, got some food, sandwiches of Earl's or Earl's sandwich, whatever it's called. The place is so bomb. If you're in Vegas, go to Planet Hollywood, eat at Sandwiches of Earl's or Earl's of Sandwiches, whatever it's called. It's over on the south entrance to the mall, from the mall to the casino. It's amazing. Believe me, you'll thank me for it. It's so good. Caprese sandwich with turkey, that's what I get. So, ended up deciding after I'd gotten a nice full meal that I was going to instead just play some 1-2 and, just play a little bit, see what happens. So, I bought in, for a first 100, and it went pretty quickly. It went away. Really, it sucks there weren't any major hands that, I really remember losing on. It just, when you buy it, that's part of the reason, like I've talked before, I don't like short buying into cash games. I like buying in for the full amount because, especially in a game like that, you lose one hand and now you went from having $100 to $60. Now the next hand, you're pretty much all in. It doesn't give you much room to wiggle, if you will. So really that first 100, I can't tell you what I lost. It wasn't any big hand. It was just, I called a couple pre-flop raises and then couldn't continue, and the next thing I know, I'm pretty much down. I held it for about an hour playing. Never really got up much. Actually, never really got up at all. Got up to about 60 and ended up shoving. I flopped top pair, hit my top pair, shoved, and lost. Actually, almost identically to how another hand happened. I flopped top pair, and the guy rivered 2-pair and knocked me out. What are you going to do? At the end of the day, it wasn't a bad call on the flop. I mean, second pair isn't a bad call. And it got there. So, another 3-outer. Well, technically 5-outer, but whatever. So that definitely kind of hurt. So after that, I ended up going and getting some food, or I'm sorry, not getting some food, going and getting some more money, walked around a little bit, went and said what's up to my boy Nino, and talked with a couple other people, then ended up coming back over and grabbing a seat. So ended up sitting down, got to see my boy Mark. Mark is a professional player, or maybe not professional, semi-pro. He plays a lot, know that. I think he works for a hotel company, but I know he's always playing, and met him a while back, actually playing one of the daily tournaments. So it was cool. He's a really cool guy. He's actually going to be heading out to Arizona for the Arizona State Championship. So hopefully I'm going to link up with him out there. And then if all goes well, we're going to head out to Cali later, hit up the Bike Classic tournament. So about that. But so it was cool. Got to talk with him a little bit. It's cool seeing people that I know. Start to feel more and more like I'm really a Vegas resident and really a pro player. I'm not, living off of it yet. But it's just fun. It's kind of fun feeling like you're part of the crew, So, bought in for another 100 and, kind of was up, down a little bit. Played a couple hands, just, raised pre-flop, one with ace-10, hit a 10, bet the flop, got a call, bet the turn, guy mucked, so I took down that pot. That was actually a decent sized pot. So I got up to about 130, 140 or so, and picked up ace-king. And I actually played it a little bit trappy, if you will. It had been raised by under the gun +2 to 12, and it just called. I didn't raise with it. The flop came out ace, king, blank. But 2 diamonds scared me a little bit. So guy bet. I called. Turn card came out, wasn't a diamond. Guy bet again and this time I shoved. I had probably, I bet it was about 80 or 90 or so that I bet, and he ended up calling, didn't show at first, and then river card was a diamond, so I was a little scared. I actually said, "Do you have diamonds?" He shook his head no, and I showed him ace king, and he had ace queen. So that was a nice hand. Definitely was solid. You know, it got me up to almost 300. Not quite, but pretty close. And it was definitely a solid hand. I had another hand later on with, actually no, I'm sorry, it happened before this. This happened before this. I had queen nine, and guy had raised on the button. I was in the big blind, so it was too off of me. I ended up calling. Flop came out with a nine. It was like ace blank nine. And he bet. I ended up calling, and I felt that he had the ace, but I just wanted to see another card. Turn card hit. Now I had a flush draw, and he ended up shoving. It was like another 45 or so, but I ended up calling because in my mind I'm thinking even if he has an ace, you know, I've got two other nines that I can hit. I've got three other queens, so there's 5 outs. Plus now I added the flush draw, so now I've got 13 additional outs. Or yeah, 12 additional outs. No, 13. So, you know, sitting there with 18 outs once for 2-1 on my money isn't bad. So I ended up calling, and I hit another 9 on the river. And I was right, he had ace jack, so he did his ace. But so I hit 3 of a kind, and it actually was, oh no, I'm sorry. He actually had ace jack, and the flop came out ace jack 9, so he had 2 pair. So actually I you know, wasn't quite as many outs as I thought. I didn't have quite as many as I thought. Take away 3 of them. But it was still, you know, ended up being pretty much a correct call based on money. So that was a decent pot, brought me up a little bit, and that's when I think I got right about to about probably close to 160, because when I won that pot off that guy, I dropped a little bit, but that brought me up right to 300. Then I actually picked up a few pots after that, and that got me up to 350. Then I had the main mistake that I made. I actually had pocket fours, raised on the button, guy, or one off the button, I'm sorry. Guy in the big blind called. Everybody else folded. Flop came out 5 jack 5. He ends up checking to me. So I bet, and he calls. Okay. I don't put him on a 5, maybe a jack, whatever. But I think if he has a jack, he's going to raise just to see where I'm at, to see if I have a 5, you know? I think. So turn card comes out, check again. He checks, I'm sorry. I bet 40 or so. He calls. Okay, weird. River card comes out, another blank. Like, I mean, the board was like 5, jack, 5. I want to say deuce 9, deuce tray, something like that. And he leads out this time when he bets 65. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, you know, either you're crushed or you're going to make a hero call here. Because in my mind, I didn't even put him on ace jack. I didn't think he could have the jack. I thought he had either ace king and was just representing a hand, or he had the 5. And in my mind, there was nothing. It was one or the other. It was, you know, I even thought that it was less likely he had the 5. I thought it was probably about 60-40, that maybe even 65-35 that he had ace king. So I thought about it for a while, and made the hero call, and it was a dead hero call because he had the 5. He actually had ace 5, so I was crushed, I mean, the whole way down. So that hand sucked, and that one hurt me a decent amount. I ended up, after that, I had to have dropped probably about 120 in that hand. So I was down to probably just over 200. Built that up to about 250 or so, 260. Then I had 2 different hands that I flopped nut flush draws on, and paid the bet on the flop both times for not to get there on the turn, and both times seeing a nice $100+ raise. So that sucked. Ended up finally walking at about 5:30 in the morning. My stack had just kept dwindling and dwindling and dwindling, and I walked with like $80 left in front of me, so I dropped 120 for the night. The table was down to 5-handed, and I was just a little tired. And Nino at ended his set, he ends at 5, so he actually waited around a little bit. It was about 5:30 by the time I got done, and I was just done. I really was telling myself, okay, just get back up to here, get back up to here, get back up to here. And I should have walked when I was up 100, but I mean, I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Like, sure, it would have been nice to have had the profit, and had a profitable session, but I wanted to keep playing. And, when you want to keep playing, sometimes that's what you do. And I didn't really feel like I'd been there long enough. Sometimes if I've been there a long time and I'm getting a little tired and I know that I'm getting a little tired, even if I want to keep playing, I will walk. But with this one, I mean, I hadn't been there, that long when I got up, to the 350. I'd only been there maybe 3.5, 4 hours. So, I wanted to keep playing. So, sadly, that was a bad decision. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do, I mean, you're going to have those days. And, again, you can always Monday morning quarterback. You can always look at hindsight because it's always 2020. But it is what it is. So, at the end of the day, I lost $120. Not horrible, not great. I really wanted to have, a decent run. But I don't know why. I keep feeling like a decent run's going to happen. I think I'm one of these next sessions, I'm going to have like a $1,500 run. Buy in for 3, play for 16, 18, 20 hours, and just go on just a great run. I hope. We'll see. Here's holding out hope. But there you go. So that's pretty much the end of the major hands in contention. I guess there really weren't many that I felt I misplayed that much. Yeah, the 5s hand, when I had 4s, I definitely could have gotten away from that. But something just how he played it really made me feel like he had ace king. And, he was just floating me the whole way to, hopefully hit his ace or his king. And when he didn't, he was just planning on taking it away on the river. That's how I saw it. Let me know if you guys thought differently. But definitely was a little disappointed with that one, especially because I'd gotten up, I built up my stack pretty well. But thus is life, what can you do? So at the end of the day, I was still pretty happy with my play. Even though I did lose, I felt like I was playing pretty solid. Another thing I thought was kind of cool, at this one hand, this guy next to me, he actually flopped a flush draw, not flush draw, called the bet on the flop, and on the turn, this guy bet like 60 or something, and he showed it to me. And he was almost trying to like ask me what I would do, and I'm like, man, I don't even know what I would do if it was my money. And one of the guys at the other end of the table after the hand was over, it's like, wow, you wouldn't know what you were doing if it was your money, huh? That really scares me what he had. Or no, he didn't say it. He was like, no, I'm really curious what he had. And I'm like, well, that doesn't mean much. I'm not that good of a player. He's like, come on. Really? Come on. And I'm like, man, I'm not. You'll see that. He's like, seriously? You don't think you're that good of a player? I'm like, I have a lot of room for improvement. He's like, well, I haven't seen many, or I haven't seen where that room is yet, or something like that. So it's kind of a nice little ego boost. It's always nice getting unsolicited compliments, especially when you don't feel that you're playing that great. You didn't do any Phil Ivey, Tom Dwan type of hand. So, but that was kind of fun, kind of cool. So at the end of the day, lost some money, but still felt pretty decent about it. So there you go, poker recap for my 1-2 session at Planet Hollywood. Yes, to the haters out there, I am vlogging about 1-2. Hate on me all you want. My camera's flash, or the light's flashing, so I'm taking that as my cue to end this video. Once again, thank you guys for checking out my videos. I am Matthew Maley. This is MatthewMaley.com. As always, you can check out the rest of my videos on MatthewMaley.com. Check out the video blog tab. You can also check out all my previous video blog entries in the previous video blog tab there. You can also check me out directly on YouTube. Search for Matthew Maley Poker. You can like my channel. You can like my video. You can view it. You can comment on it, and you can subscribe to my channel. You can also check me out on Facebook. Search for Matthew Maley Poker. I post all my videos on there, so you can watch them there. Also like and comment if you enjoy, or if you so like. See what I did there? Like, yeah, corny. Or you can follow your boy on Twitter. I am at Matthew Maley. I'm always tweeting up on there about all kinds of fun stuff. So follow your boy on Twitter. And until the next video, I'm officially signing off. Peace out, everybody.